most awesome Sims 2 fans, welcome to the channel. I am your host, Tipsy Mommy Shark. Today, we're taking this sad little empty lot and turning it into a Dreamer home-based art gallery. Stay tuned to the end to find out how you can get this build for your game, plus, of course, a little neighborhood gossip and glitter. Because what would the art scene be without a tiny scandal? So let's get started. This adorable nautical oceanside home-based business is being built for Darren Dreamer. We met him when The Sims 2 was launched in 2004, or if you recently picked up the Legacy Collection in 2025 and said, "Let me experience trauma." His wife has passed away, and he and his teen son Dirk are deeply in debt. The Repo Man knows the address by heart, and Darren is our struggling artist archetype. Pain-stained, emotionally wounded, and financially questionable. And what does every struggling artist need? A charming coastal art gallery with suspiciously high overhead costs. We will gossip at length. Once the Sims move in, I promise there will be analysis, there will be judgment, and possibly charts. This build is patterned after a Cape Cod style business that absolutely screams art by the sea. I'm putting up a screenshot because I need witnesses to my vision. I did struggle with the roof deeply, spiritually. Trying to get that little window to match the inspirational photo tested my patience and my moral character, but I think I've nailed it, or at least aggressively approximated it. I used a platform floor trick to give the flat roof some thickness because sometimes we fake structural integrity and move on. Yes, for a brief moment, I wished for the Sims 4 roofing tool. I did. I thought about it. Then I remembered who I was and went back to wrestling with triangles like it was 2006. After that, it became a full matchy-matchy mission, pulling colors from reference photos and really leaning into that nautical by-the-sea shop feel. Whites, soft blues, and just enough charm to justify overpriced watercolor prints. A moment ago, I trimmed out this house in the Honeywell trim set. I think that's what it's called. I don't use it often, which is ridiculous because I genuinely love it. It's one of those little detail sets that I think makes the build pop in a quiet, classy way. The kind of detail where viewers don't consciously notice it, but when you remove it, everything feels slightly wrong, and yet I rush. Because apparently I build like I'm on a reality TV show with a countdown clock and a mildly emotional instability. I really should experiment with this more because at the end of the day, it's those little architectural touches that elevate a build from, oh, that's cute, to, oh, she planned this. And we want she planned this, even if I absolutely did not. I recently added a shopping district to Pleasantview that I very creatively named The Beach. I know, groundbreaking, stunning, Pulitzer incoming, you can hold your applause. This is the same Pleasantview that my Sim York is attached to. The whole idea has been that I am renovating Pleasantview as if Will Wright released The Sims 2 today, with all the expansion packs already baked in, because if we're going to pretend properly. Now, I haven't had a shopping district up until now, because let's be honest, the mecca of shopping would not be Blue Water Village. Absolutely no. It would be Sim York, as it should be. But during some rotational gameplay, I started feeling like my neighborhoods are missing something. There's no day trip energy, no summer escape, no, oh, we summer here vibes. In New York, we had the Hamptons. So, after far too much deliberation for a fake digital coastline, I decided our beach should have Cape Cod, Martha's Vineyard kind of feel. Windswept, slightly elite, the kind of place that someone says, oh, this old thing, about a $4,000 sweater. As in our inspirational photo, the gallery sits right at the front of the build with the living quarters attached behind it. The first floor has a typical small open floor plan, emphasis on small, because the real star of the show is the gallery. Upstairs, I went with a 3-bedroom layout with a full bath and a half. I would have loved to have squeezed in 2 full baths. At some point, I had to accept the reality and prioritize the extra bedroom. I kept with the soft nautical colors throughout and did some light decorating, mostly out of necessity, because the living area was giving a cozy in the way some realtors say when they really mean tight. The white wood flooring really helped everything pop for me, and once that was down, it was time to add the basic windows. My favorites, the ones that never betray me. I save this build at the halfway point for all of you before any Sims move in. This is purely to protect against any possible corruption, because The Sims 2 has the emotional stability of a Victorian heroine that faints at the slightest provocation. You can download this build up to the mid stage for free on my Patreon page. No membership required. Just be warned, there is plenty of custom content in this build, so enter with the confidence of someone who has already accepted their downloads folder's fate. Please take a moment to like and subscribe. It helps support struggling artists everywhere, including Darren Dreamer, who is currently one missed bill away from selling seashell keychains on the boardwalk. This build is about 38,000 simoleons for our simmies to purchase, which really isn't bad, considering the housing market usually demands a family heirloom and a small blood sacrifice. It does come with some furnishings, though furnished might be a generous term for what I have put in there. I did add a driveway and some plants and a small fenced yard to make it feel homey prior to moving our family in. The driveway is mostly there for our non-existent car, which makes it feel important. The plants are doing their best to distract from the fact that the builder clearly has maxed out her charisma instead of handiness skill. The fenced yard is going to be perfect for toddlers, a dog, and any adult sim who's going to need a safe place to get away during a crisis, which happens when working in retail. Yes, you did just see 3 Sims move into the house. Darren Dreamer and his son Dirk, along with Cassandra Goth. As promised, this is where the decorating begins and the gossip erupts. So grab your popcorn because the tea is piping hot. This is a story started by Maxis and continued by me, with a generous assist from the Sims 2 built-in karma system, which apparently woke up and chooses chaos on a daily basis. I'm going to start at the beginning. Not long ago, I had moved Darren to a renovated rental in a trailer park. Honestly, the man was living in that big house, drowning in debt, surrounded by peeling wallpaper and the grave of his late wife in the backyard, like it was a perfectly normal landscaping choice. He seems to want to be a painter, or at least that's what he tells himself while staring dramatically at the easel. My first thought was, let's resurrect his wife. I'm trying to do things differently in Pleasantview. After all, nothing says fresh start like meddling with the natural order of things. Cassandra's father, Mortimer, had died suddenly, and in true goth fashion, she was absolutely not emotionally prepared to deal with that. So she acquired the Resurrectinometer, because when you're grieving, why process your feelings when you can dabble in forbidden necromancy? With this device, she was able to contact the Grim Reaper and bring her father back from the dead. This is important for later, so mentally bookmark it. Mortimer, upon returning, became friends with Darren because apparently death opens you up to new social circles. He gave the device to Darren as a gift. Ever hopeful and ever the romantic, he tried to bring his wife back from the dead. But due to things I have done to my game, I only have minimal regrets. He was prevented from doing this. Honestly, it was probably for the best, because I was strongly considering making her a zombie. That was not very nice of me, but I'm committed to total transparency here. I packed him and his son off to my trailer park. With my Bigger Bills mod, he had no hope of surviving in that house unless he suddenly discovered oil under the Dreamer lot. After selling the home, he walked away with about 40,000 simoleons. Not exactly goth money, but enough to keep the lights on. His dream of opening a small art gallery was finally becoming a reality. Maybe not something in Sim York, but Pleasantview? Absolutely. Every town needs at least one slightly tragic, creative type to make it big. Cassandra Goth, poor thing, left at the altar by that Don Lothario. Her mother's been missing, possibly living her best alien-adjacent life. Then her father, Mortimer, gone too soon. When she brought home the resurrectinometer, honestly, that was relatable. Her brother, Alexander, he understood. She just wanted Daddy back. Closure, stability, a redo. Things in The Sims 2 are just never that simple. Mortimer didn't return home to sit quietly in his study. There was Nina Caliente, glowing suspiciously and talking about the goth legacy. Cassandra may have expressed her feelings publicly, with hands over the blushing bride. It wasn't her finest moment. The mansion ended up feeling heavier, less grander, more unfinished business. Cassandra realized something brave. Staying where you've been hurt isn't loyalty, it's fear. She took her 50,000 simoleons and a spine made of pure obsidian and did something shocking. She left Pleasantview, not in disgrace, but determination. It was for Cassandra that we needed the 3 bedrooms, not because she's desperate, but because she is now hopeful. She does love Dirk. She does. But he's on the brink of going to college. She wants the full experience. Bedtime stories, first steps, the tiny socks that vanish into whatever supernatural void that exists behind every dryer. She wants to start at the beginning. And Darren, sweet, thoughtful, paint-smudged Darren, she doesn't want to control him. She wants to champion him. She sees his potential, the quiet brilliance, the future gallery openings where people sip sparkling juice and say, there's something hauntingly tender about that piece. And yes, she might gently encourage structure, schedule, discipline. She might close the studio door during working hours so he does not wander off to kick over a trash can. But that's partnership, not manipulation. She's not dragging him to greatness. She's building it with him, because Cassandra isn't trying to trap a man anymore. She is building a life. 3 bedrooms, a nursery ready, a husband with talent, a baby with dark eyes, and a dramatic little personality. This time, she is not reacting to chaos. She is designing joy. At the gallery opening, everyone who's anyone has arrived. Darren has found his muse, the resurrectinometer, still here, but now an ironic art piece, a wink to the past, a reminder that even grief can become part of the aesthetic. We're not threatening the Grim Reaper, we network with him. Please take a moment to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments how you play with your sim. Do you nurture their dreams or create chaos? This is a judgment-free zone, mostly. Darren now navigates his new social circle, the air kiss greetings, the dramatic pauses before saying things like textural. Cassandra stands beside him, proud, not plotting. Marriage isn't a power play here. It's teamwork, but with much better outfits. And in Pleasantview, love is eternal.